What's up, guys? Lore here with another round of replay roulette for you from the Heart of the Swarm beta. We got a TvT here today on Antigua Shipyard down here in the south and slightly east position as the Red Terran. We have VonComet, Baron VonComet himself, the Royal Master of Transylterranvania. I don't know. Up here in the northwest position as the Blue Terran, we have Raptor as the Blue Terran. So, Terran vs. Terran, as I was mentioning before, we have seen, I actually haven't cast a Terran vs. Terran in a little while. We've seen a lot of Widowmine play out of Terran lately in the beta, so I'm really curious to see if anything like that ends up happening here. We could also see some of that early Reaper play that we were seeing a while back. So, very interesting potential here for a Terran vs. Terran. It's a matchup that has gotten a lot faster in the beta. Terran vs. Terran in Wings of Liberty is something that people go, oh god, okay, it's Terran vs. Terran, where it's going to be an 80-minute match and neither player is going to really do anything. They're just going to wander around. But it's actually gotten a lot faster, partially due to Widowmines, partially due to just general metagame shifts. People aren't really doing as much of the slow plotting, and this could just be because it's still new stuff in the beta, but people aren't doing nearly as much of the slow plotting siege tank marine pushes that we've been seeing in Wings of Liberty for a long time now. So we'll have to see what both players are up to. We do have a factory before, excuse me, a refinery before barracks down here for VonComet, and the opposite up over here for Raptor. So Raptors should probably be popping out an early marine and maybe going for some early bio play. Whereas out of VonComet, I would expect either an early Reaper. This is just one gas, so either an early Reaper, maybe an early Tech Lab going for a fast stim, or possibly an early factory as well for maybe some Hellion play. It's also a very, very standard thing to do with that early factory. We do have an immediate Tech Lab going down for VonComet up over here, so he will probably be. Actually, we may actually see. I'm looking at his resources. We may actually end up seeing a Reaper out of that. So, lots of potential options here. It doesn't look like VonComet's actually doing anything at the moment. There we go. Do have a fast factory coming out for VonComet, but Raptor will scout this in a hurry. VonComet did not block off his ramp to block that early scouting, so he will see that factory. He will see the one gas. And he will know exactly what is going on over here in VonComet's base. We have a reactor coming out, so I'm definitely going to assume that we're going to see fast Hellions out of VonComet. I'm going to guess that with this positioning here, he's probably going to lift this barracks, put that factory down there, and pop out a whole bunch of fast Hellions. Meanwhile, VonComet comes up here to get a peek around. Ooh, he does spot the Reaper, though, so we did get a fast Reaper out of Raptor. And that popped out at the worst possible moment and showed that off immediately. Now the question is he going to be able to do anything about it? He's actually lifting this right now, and I'm guessing his plan is probably going to be to pop out a couple fast Hellions to deal with this Reaper, which Hellions are pretty good against Reapers, all things considered. So that may be the best way for him to end. Yeah, it looks like these Hellions will be out in plenty of time to stop this Reaper. The big question is he actually going to pop up in here with the Reaper? It looks like he might just pop over here and scout out to see if there's an expansion, and may just decide, you know what, I made one Reaper. Oh, he's actually making even more Reapers now. He's got a second one down on the way, and he's got one more in production. So he's going to pop up in here, try to do some damage, but those Hellions are going to say, no thank you, sir. Didn't even manage to kill off that mule. That would have been actually really nice if he was able to pick off that mule, but he was not able to. And so the mule expires, and now look at this. Goes right up over there, knows, hey, that's probably where Reapers are going to pop up, at this little step over here. That's probably where he's headed next. Very good game sense coming out of VonComet so far. He built those Hellions. He knew, alright, well, there's a Reaper coming. No problem. I got Hellions on the way. I'll just pop those out real quick. No big deal. And now he's headed up over here to do some damage of his own. Raptor's actually managed to supply block himself at 27 supply. There we go. He does finish up. But he's still making Reapers, and that... this is exactly what's going to continue happening if he continues making Reapers. He does have his wall in here, so the Hellions will not be able to get up into the base and do any major damage to the economy, at least not right away. But he needs to get something out that can deal with them. And ooh, Widowmine is coming out now. He's going to burrow that, and he will pull back just in the nick of time. VonComet has really good game sense so far, paying close attention to everything that's going on. May lose a Hellion, actually. A little bit of a slip up there. Not really paying enough attention. Loses a Hellion to that Reaper. But he's just going to say, alright, you know what? I've put some pressure on, and I'm going to go ahead and fall back. So a couple of interesting exchanges here in the early game so far. The Widow Mines coming out for Raptor is an interesting choice. I don't like the constant Reaper production. In fact, he's still producing Reapers, which they're just kind of worthless now. And trying to burrow that Widow Mine is not able to burrow it in time. Does get another one up over here, but it looks like VonComet may have spotted it. He's going to swing around that completely, not getting anywhere close to it. And the bunker, the supply depot is still down. He could get up in there. Oof, okay, Raptor does lift that supply depot just in time to block this off. However, there's a bunch of units. Why is he still make a Marauder? Make a Marauder. You will kill everything with a Marauder. Well, actually, it looks like he might kill everything with a Reaper instead. But seriously, I don't know. I don't get the Reapers. I don't know what's up with the Reapers. These Hellions still continue to do damage. In fact, he's still continuing to just rally Hellions over here like crazy, just trying to poke around over here, just sort of keeping this this expansion on lockdown. I will potentially lose another Reaper here. No, it looks like he's going to get away. He's going to send out another Reaper to try and keep killing these, but seriously, dude, make a Marauder. Like, one Marauder. Alright. Well, let's check and see what's going on elsewhere. We do have an expansion coming down over here for Raptor, so he's going to get up a different expansion since even though he can't really mine too well out of this one with this constant Hellion harassment. Ooh, nicely. He got a little bit too close to that Widow Mine. Even though he can't really mine too well over here with that constant harassment, there's no major damage being dealt, so he can just go ahead and sneak an expansion down over here and start getting some stuff up over here. And looks like VonComet is working on an expansion, but he has not gotten it up yet behind this aggression, which is a bit of a slip-up, honestly. However, he does have this Banshee on the way. There's no cloak for this Banshee, but there's also nothing that can shoot up other than the Widow Mines over here. So this could actually potentially do a ton of damage for VonComet. He's got this this Banshee in here. He's attacking the ones on the gas, which is fine sometimes, but can be a bit of a mistake. Oops, excuse me. Can be a bit of a mistake when you don't actually get the kills. See, now he did manage to kill one of them, but he mostly just injured them. It takes a bit longer to actually get those kills when you're focusing on the ones in the gas. You only want to do that if you have 2 Banshees out. Otherwise, what happens is it just takes you too long to actually kill anything, and you end up not doing as much damage. It looks like he got 4 kills out of that, so still a decent amount of damage, but not as much as it could have been if he'd been focusing on different SCVs. Whole bunch of factories on the way now for VonComet. He's really swinging up this factory production. He is still getting out Banshees. But he's really working on, he's still pumping out Hellions like crazy. Like, wow, that's a lot of Hellions. I wonder if he's going to plan on going into Battle Hellions later on. And wow, this is interesting. A 4th base now in production for Raptor. I imagine he's probably going to float that over here with that positioning to just sort of take a whole bunch of sneaky bases and try to get an economic lead. A ton of factories now on the way for VonComet too. Or excuse me, for Raptor also. So we're going to see a whole ton of mech in this game. Oops, that's a bit of a slip-up. Needs to put some more workers on those gases over there. But otherwise, things have settled down quite a bit. Both players are just sort of sitting back. VonComet really loves these Hellions. I'm kind of skeptical that they're going to continue to be as effective for him, especially since, oops, excuse me, we do have now a Raven is out for VonComet, so he's able to spot those Widow Mines and kill them off from a distance. And now with this auto turret there, this is going to be trouble for, and that's only a supply depot building over there. This is going to be trouble for Raptor up over here. He's had to pull all of his SCVs off of production, and he doesn't really have anything that can kill them. Like, he has, the man has no Marines. He has a couple of Vikings out somewhere. I don't know where they wandered off to. He should be able to just move those over there and kill these things, but instead he is not. I don't know. Was I looking at the wrong? I was looking at the wrong guy again. My apologies, Internet. I was looking at VonComet. He has 2 Vikings out. Raptor really just doesn't have anything to deal with this army coming from VonComet right now. He's got, I mean, he's working on getting a, have they actually spotted that? No, he is not. He's just barely going to miss it again. Now he should see that it's there. But honestly, I don't know that Raptor really has much left in this game. Like, he's getting himself a decent economy advantage, or at least trying to. And he was deflecting that early pressure at least moderately well, but he's just sitting on nothing in terms of units. He really just doesn't have anything to do anything with. He is now getting out Marines. But with this auto turret still up over here killing off SCVs like crazy. In fact, where's that Viking? Or excuse me, that Raven. Yeah, the Raven is now up to 8 kills. for not even being over there. Gonna force this to pull back, and I feel like Raptor's just sort of... He didn't make stuff, is the thing. Now, he does have a ton of Widow Mines coming out, but with that Raven in the army, the Widow Mines are not going to be nearly as dangerous. So I feel like he can probably defend this here. This particular army, he can probably defend against it. But he needs to start getting up units that you win the game with. You don't win a game with Hellions. You don't win a game with Widow Mines. You can do damage with them, but you can't kill your opponent with them. And now with the landed Vikings in here, he's just kind of got himself in a bad spot. He looks like he will manage to pick off that Raven, which is hugely important. Extremely important that Raven is now down, but he can't do anything about the Vikings in there. He does not have the appropriate units to kill these Vikings. And now with some Hellion action going on over here, Blue Flame now just roasting all these SCVs. This is the weirdest death I think I've seen in a long time. Oh, very nice. Does manage to get a few of those Widow Mines burrowed and take out several of those Vikings. So that may be a bit of a breath of fresh air for him, but now the Hellions have done so much damage. I mean, look at this. 9 kills, 7 kills, 12 kills, 7 kills, 6 kills. These Hellions have... Well, let's check the workers. Oh, holy crap! 61 workers killed. 62 workers killed. Does he have any left? He has 13 SCVs, and I don't know where they're. Okay, they're up over here. He has 13 SCVs. Raptor has no economy left. So even though VonComet doesn't have anything that you actually win a game with, now he's finally building siege tanks. Even though he's basically massing Hellions, Raptor has responded to it so poorly that he's actually winning with it. This is another game that should not be going the way that it is. This is silly right now. This is ridiculous. Hellions are not... They're not kill your opponent units. They're kill your opponent's economy units, which he's done quite well with that, obviously. But he's actually just straight up killing him with them. So yeah. And with the landed Vikings too, like it seems like he's said, it almost looks like he sat back, and in fact now he's adding on bases like crazy instead of going for the killing blow, which literally you could attack move with this and get the killing blow. But it almost seems like he said, hey, you know what? Let's find things that do the least amount of damage possible to enemy units and enemy structures, and I'll just win with that. I'll just go and attack him with that, and I'll kill off all of his structures that way. Very, very strange game so far, and it looks like this army may actually go right across these Widow Mines. Yeah. Loses a whole bunch of those Hellions right away, but it's not going to matter too much with the siege tanks in the back. They don't even need to siege. They don't have siege mode. He's got... Oh my god. Is he getting siege mode at the very least? He is not even researching siege mode. He's just going to attack move with unsieged tanks and say, that's how I'm going to win. And that's what happened. Raptor has left the game. That's... Alright. Well... That was certainly a passage of time. I don't really know what to say about that game, guys. Like that was just ridiculous. He should not, like that is the game that should not have happened. Raptor could have built Marauders and won that game. Like if he had switched early on, instead of building Reapers like crazy, which I don't know why he continued building Reapers. If he'd started building Marauders instead, that would have shut down everything that VonComet was doing early on. Obviously the Banshee harassment would have still been a pain for him, but the Widow Mines were able to deal with that relatively easily early on at the very least, and then he can get out Vikings or something to deal with it from there. But yeah, just get Marauders. He could have literally massed Marauders and killed his opponent in this game. Instead, he sat back and let landed Vikings and Hellions tear him apart until finally VonComet went, oh, you know what's good against structures? Tanks, and came over and just started mopping everything up. So yeah, GG's to both players regardless. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Lore, and I will see you in the next match.